19 here with some just gameplay with just chatting about Spider-Man PS4. And I'm joined today by Marvland / Nick Double G.
Yep.
And Jared. Yeah, I know, right? And Aaron, too cool for you.
Yep. Basically, in this podcast, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man PS4 because I would say, on behalf of all of us, that we are very, very hyped and anticipated for this game.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Everyone can tell by my name that I'm hyped. It's kind of given.
But basically, for this, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Mainly, we're going to be talking about suits for this one.
Okay.
What's up, Peachman? Mainly for this one, we're going to be talking about suits and all that good
what
stuff.
What we're expecting out of them.
I'm not actually. Do y'all want to go ahead and just talk about all of the stuff in this podcast, and we can start doing other things in the next?
Yeah, might as well. I'd say. Okay, so.
Alright, so we'll just be talking about everything. But first off, let's talk about suits before anything, because we made a couple of videos about
yeah, but it didn't
see,
really turn out like our voices weren't recording and crap.
Yeah. But first.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Connection lost, okay. But let's go ahead and talk about
what's up, whoever
suits.
just joined the chat.
What's some suits that you guys will love to see in the game? Me personally, I would love to see all the film incarnations of the suits.
Like
like the Sam Raimi suits and the Mark Webb suits.
And the, of course, the good old-fashioned Iron Spider, not crappily just made, but
no, that's gonna be in there.
Oh yeah,
it's not the classic one, but it's gonna be the
one.
That's gonna be the classic one, but it's gonna be in there.
You bought the Sky Fortress DLC Spider?
Yeah.
But what are some of the other suits that you guys will?
Well, I would honestly love to see like all the originals.
Get you spamming your comments.
Yeah. All right. What I would love to see is all the original suits, like his homemade suit and all of that.
Right.
Yeah. True.
They're coming out with they're using the homemade suit in Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, don't die, Spider, or else you shall.
Also, Spider hasn't really seen much of it. He's just now starting to get very, very hyped for the game.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be dope.
From the things that he's heard, he hasn't seen a lot of the stuff yet, but he will.
The gameplay-wise of like stealth and stuff like that reminded me of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, just more refined.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think
the Amazing Spider-Man 2,
I think that the Amazing Spider-Man 2 stealth is very, very similar, but I don't know.
I didn't mind the Amazing Spider-Man 2's gameplay. It was not that bad. It was horrible in some senses, but like other senses, it's kind of fun. The combat was kind of addicting. Like the most addicting thing ever.
True.
Okay, that happened.
What happened?
What happened?
Let's just say I tried to hop onto the back of a train to grab a jet, and it didn't work out for me.
I'm guessing you blew up.
The jet just falls off. Nah, didn't blow up. But, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is villains. Who do you guys think are going to be the villains?
Okay, I'm hoping.
Mysterio, Shocker.
Well, yeah. I haven't seen much of the gameplay, so I don't know if these guys are confirmed. But
Shocker's definitely in it. Shocker's definitely in it.
Okay.
And so is,
so I would say, actually, I'm hoping that they'll have Carnage and Venom, of course.
Oh, they said no symbiotes. So
But it
that
said no
was
symbiotes. So.
That's dumb.
No, that's not
really
dumb.
is,
No, the reason no
symbiote.
Carnage would be kind of cool, but with Venom, nah. Because Venom's been in too many. You got Spider-Man 3, the Web of Shadows.
Well, yeah, but Venom is like
Spider-Man 1 in 1999. Or
Well, yeah,
2000, I
but
forgot when that was when it came out.
Venom is like Spider-Man's #1 enemy, so it makes sense.
Actually, yeah, I know, but we need to have other villains to this attack.
Yeah, I guess.
Me personally, this is kind of far-fetched, but seeing as how Mr. Negative, if he touches you while he's in negative form, that it can bring out the negative side / evil side of you. I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna end up touching Iron Man, because they've said that this is a Marvel universe, like a Marvel universe.
And not just Spider-Man's universe.
Yeah, maybe he'll touch Iron Man, and they've said
I
that
feel like
Peter is a scientist, so I think that he's a scientist for Tony Stark / Iron Man. And then what will happen is Iron Man will be the villain, because he will be touched by Mr. Negative, and then Iron Man will be the evil.
Okay, I see your point in this, but if it is in the Marvel universe, would it make a bit more sense for Dr. Negative to touch Hulk? Even actually, never mind, because he's still on that.
No, he would. If Hulk was in it, Hulk would just destroy the entire Marvel universe without even trying. There'd be no way for Spider-Man to stop that.
True.
Well,
no way.
And plus, Hulk is still in that other dimensional planet. So.
Hulk survived an orbital strike, like a full-blown orbital strike from Tony Stark. I'm pretty sure he
yeah.
Yeah. And plus, I'm not sure if Hulk made it back to Earth, going off of Thor Ragnarok.
That I could probably have a idea about is, as we saw in the gameplay demo at E3, at the end of it, and when they touch you, or when he touches you, you get like the negative side of you comes out. Maybe secretly a negative side of Peter or Spider-Man rips out of side of him. And then
so like a clone-ish thing. I was actually thinking this as well.
A negative Spider-Man, and then it'll be Spider-Man versus Spider-Man.
That kind of like Edge of Time for the PS3.
Yeah. So
that would be kind of cool. But at the same time, if they don't do it correctly, well, I guess everything, if they don't do it correctly, it'll end up horrible.
Well, we already know that web swing, from what we've seen, pretty good.
Yeah.
Ow.
Okay, let's bring up another topic that we brought up before, the when we recorded. How are the upgrades gonna be? Like, how is that gonna be
lit. I actually saw gameplay of upgrades, and so that looks really cool.
Yes, but how is this gonna be implemented? Is it gonna be like Just Cause 3, where you get gear mods and you can activate and deactivate them? Or are they gonna be like, let's say, Dying Light, where it's a tree? Or
I actually don't know. If that's a really good answer.
Or as Jared said before, is it going to be like Shadow of War, where you unlock a main thing and you can choose between 3?
That actually is a good idea. Now
that'd be a very good idea.
But one thing that I am for sure wanting with it is to be able to downgrade upgrades, because
because like in Just Cause 3, for chance, like in the explosive mods, the booster explosives, you can activate and deactivate them, and same for everything, you can activate and deactivate.
Yeah. One thing that I want to talk about mainly is I know a lot of people won't agree with me on this, but I love the slower web swing. I think
Okay.
that I think it looks a lot better because you have the ability to be able to just swing around.
Yes, and for you, Nick, though, how you like to get cool cinematic shots.
Yeah, take cool cinematic shots.
And another thing that I would say for you, that if you do go slower, you have more control over your web swings, where some missions might...
Well, I've played a lot of Spider-Man games where it is like it is on that game, where the webs always stick to the buildings, and almost like Spider-Man 2, where you have to get used to a web swinging so you don't end up continuously hitting buildings and being stuck. So I think that's what everybody has to try to do and get better at the web swinging as well.
Okay.
Sending air support to your location.
But
Okay, what's going
what's
on?
some of y'all's gameplay elements that y'all love to see? What's some of y'all's ideas? Hello?
Okay, something
Yeah,
that...
I'm still here, but like I'm fighting a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm just focusing on this. Alright. So, Nick, bringing up something that you said earlier, outfits. Actually, we already talked about this. I'm trying to think of something we haven't talked about yet.
I mean, we still have to talk about, like, gameplay elements.
Yes, gameplay. Alright, one thing that I brought up earlier, would you run out of web fluid, or would it be infinite? Because I feel like that would add a bit of depth to make it...
If you watch the gameplay demo, there's like this like webbing design, like this webbing thing, and then after that there's this there's like a meter.
Okay,
I think
so
what that is that's like a recharge on like your webbing ability. It's not like swinging webs, like you run out of webs while swinging, but I do think that it's meaning like in combat you can't just infinitely spray webs. And just,
okay, that would make a bit of sense, I guess, but how would that be implemented? Okay, actually, I guess I see how that would be implemented. That's quite simple, actually, but I'm trying to think of something else to cover that we might not have thought of. Oh, combat. Will that be just a button masher, or will it actually take a bit of skill to play the game?
I think that they when they have like the when it's harder on the hardest difficulties,
you can't just like, button mash. You actually have to learn how to play.
Yeah. So on to the next, like, idea is basically, I don't know how to put it into words, really.
Okay.
What is something from the older games that y'all would love to see either A, return or B, revenge, or
okay, one thing that I would like to see might be, say, in Edge of Time, which was the last Spider-Man game that I've played, vents. Will there be, like, vents where you crawl, or actually, something that would be new that I would like to see is in Dishonored how there are multiple ways to do a level, where there's something like that. I would love to see it. God, frick. Alright. Anything that you would like to see return?
If I had to see something return, I think it would be to really. I think I'm kind of bored with everything in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
What do you mean by bored?
Like, I think that
Per se.
they were cool one moment and then now it's really got moving.
Alright, so you're kind of bored with what in Spider-Man?
Really, almost everything about it. I think the web swinging was the only thing.
Yeah, web swinging was kind of the only thing new or different about the Spider-Man games. But because the fighting, it got repetitive, the villains got just predictable-esque. So I do see where you are coming from.
I would love how like the villains would have like special abilities. Like instead of just like the same thing, like it would have to do special ways to take them out.
Okay, and I forgot which Spider-Man this was. I believe it was 2 where Kingpin would charge you and you would have to time it right to be able to hit him after he charged.
Isn't that Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I think so.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's the only game where you actually fight. Like, is there any other game where you fight Kingpin and Spider-Man? No, I don't think so.
The Spider-Man 3.
Spider-Man 3 you fought Kingpin? I don't know that. I never played the PS3 version of Spider-Man 3. I played the PS2 version like way back when.
Way back.
Was appropriate.
Yeah. Okay. Another thing. Why am I trying to compare this to Halo? All of a sudden I'm like, hold on. How can I compare this to Halo? Because that was literally the first game that I ever played was Halo. That was my introduction to gaming, which I would say would be a pretty nice, good introduction.
Introductions to gaming was Spider-Man 1, the video game.
I actually still have my original Xbox. I just lost my controllers.
ps4 and Nintendo DS.
They buy some other controllers.
Yeah, I could. I still have like Need for Speed. Actually, my introduction wasn't Halo. I believe it was actually Need for Speed 2 Underground.
My introduction was Spider-Man, and it took me a full day to beat the first mission. I kind of have depression about that. Because I was like 7 years old playing it, I was like,
How
Alright, you guys, well, I'm gonna leave the podcast here because we've kind of gone over all the things that
I'm gonna keep mine going, so let's just continue for me.
Alright.
So, Jared, anything you would like to see in the game?
Like, what do you mean specifically? Like, anything specific or just anything?
Nothing specific, just what would you like to see?
Really good and fast-paced, gameplay, right?
Okay.
Maybe some, like, cool outfits with, I know they have special uses, but I don't know what they're gonna do. Also, the Iron Spider suit, right? You know, like the Infinity War? They're coming out with the Infinity War Iron Spider suit. It's actually really cool because people are saying that they might come up with the claws for it. Like, the Iron Spider suit has the claws at the back of it.
Confirmed. That's gonna be his ability.
No, they don't know if it's been confirmed truly yet. People are actually just speculating it. People like they said
No,
if you watch Infinity War, then
what?
whatever the then just think of the ability. It'd be pretty obvious.
What I'm
And
hyped for is to be able to
Hold on.
do. What I'm hyped for is
the
to be able
claws
to
would be,
do.
the claws would be cool for like climbing up faster and fighting enemies in combat style.
The spider punk suit. Its abilities is a guitar blast.
Wait, give me a second real fast. I'm gonna have to dip the pen. Like for like a couple of seconds.
That never gets old.
Got like an arrow right here.
This is dispatch. Tanks inbound. An elite response team is en route to your position.
Alright, honestly, I'm just gonna end my live stream here, guys, and peace out.